JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. JUTC driver surprise for Father's Day. One special Jamaica urban transit company, JUTC driver, was honored last week when the passengers on his route came together and presented him with gifts for Father's Day. Robert Sharp only began service in the 309 Phoenix Park Village 2 to Crossroads routes last November, but has already made a big impact on his passengers. At 55 years old, Sharp is well versed in looking out for others, having raised 2 sons of his own.
And we arrive at our destination safely. And Robert, by extension, performed the role of crossing the border while executing your duties you are mandated to do. Ladies and gentlemen, what more do we ask for? So, Robert, with all this said, on the occasion of Father's Day, which will be celebrated on Sunday, June 15th, on behalf of the 309 passengers of the Premium Express, we would like to present tokens of our appreciation for you.
Man killed and another injured in gun attack at St. Catherine Bar. A gun attack at a bar in the rural St. Catherine community of Buxton Town on Saturday night has left 1 man dead and another hospitalized. The deceased has been identified as Randall Gallimore, 27, a labourer of Buxton Town, Wakefield in the parish. A 20-year-old man from the same community was also shot during the incident and remains hospitalized. The incident reportedly took place about 10:35 p.m. It's reported that both men were patrons at a bar in the community when a Toyota Probox motor car drove up unstopped. One man reportedly exited the vehicle, brandished a gun, and opened fire, hitting both men. Gallimore was said to have received gunshot wounds to the upper body, while the other man was shot in the arms. They were assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where Gallimore was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the attack. The Linstead Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the incident. Clarendon man chopped to death during altercation in Cristiano. A 38-year-old Clarendon man was chopped to death during an early morning altercation in Cristiano, Manchester on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as CJ Mongol, a labourer of Magnet District in Kellits, Clarendon. The incident reportedly happened minutes to 5 a.m. It's alleged that Mongol was involved in an altercation with a group of persons in the Dubs area of Cristiano when he was attacked and chopped all over his body. He was assisted to the Percy Junior Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Spalding police are conducting investigations into the incident. Passengers injured after car crashes into yard. Several people reportedly injured following a motor vehicle crash along the Bog Walk bypass on Sunday. Reports of residents at the scene are that 2 cars collided and one then careened off the road before landing in a yard just off the road. Onlookers say the 3 occupants of the car were trapped inside until firefighters from the Linstead Fire Station arrived to free them from the mangled vehicle. The occupants were reportedly taken to the hospital for treatment. Security guard arrested over gun seizure in St. Mary operation. A 34-year-old security guard was arrested on Sunday after police allegedly seized an illegal gun and ammunition at his residence in Port Maria, St. Mary. According to a police report, the seizure took place about 6:15 a.m. as law enforcement officers, acting on intelligence, conducted an operation. The police said that upon their approach, the man attempted to flee but was apprehended by the team. A subsequent search led to the discovery of a Smith & Wesson Springfield 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 2 9mm rounds, said Anthony Wallace, commanding officer for the St. Mary Police Division. The gun and ammunition were seized and the suspect was taken into custody. Chinese auto shop cleared to reopen. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has cleared WH car service. The popular Chinese-operated auto repair shop to reopen following investigations into labour law compliance. The garage, located at Ferry Pen near the St. Catherine St. Andrew border, was ordered closed in April after operating for just 2 months. It is now permitted to resume business once it meets a range of agreed conditions.
Colonel Charles, you're the Minister of Labour and Social Security. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has concluded its investigation into the labour law compliance issues concerning certain garages, particularly the Wholehearted Car Service Limited garage. Now, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security welcomes foreign talent into Jamaica, but we emphasize the importance of compliance with our labour laws. We are committed to enforcing, to regulating, and to protecting the rights of Jamaican workers. And we will continue to work with the relevant agencies to ensure fair employment practices and to prevent exploitation of Jamaicans and also of any foreign workers who are working in Jamaica. As part of the resolution, the Wholehearted Car Service Limited has agreed to implement the following measures. 1. Enrolling all employees in the Heart NSTA Trust program to acquire their prior learning certificate. 2. To establish a structured apprenticeship program through the Jamaican German Automotive School in collaboration with Heart NSTA Trust. 3. To allow Heart NSTA Trust and JAGAS instructors to understudy the auto mechanics operation to ensure knowledge transfer and skills development. 4. To submit a list of all Jamaican workers, including their names, wages, and positions, along with copies of their fully endorsed employment contracts to the ministry within 3 months of reopening the garage. Now, the ministry is dedicated to ensuring compliance with the labour laws, our regulations, protecting the rights of Jamaican workers, and promoting the skills development and training through partnerships with institutions like Heart NSTA Trust and JAGAS. To ensure that these measures are instituted, we will continue to monitor implementation of the agreed upon measures. We're going to conduct regular inspection to ensure compliance, and we will also provide support and guidance to Wholehearted Car Service Limited and any other business of this nature to promote fair employment practices. Let me emphasize, by working together, we can create a more inclusive and equitable work environment that benefits all Jamaicans. The ministry remains committed, again, to ensuring fair employment practices and protecting the rights of Jamaican workers.
Authorities shut the operation down following an investigation that revealed that several Chinese workers were either employed without permits or in breach of the terms of the approved work status. By the time of its closure, WH Car Service had already built a strong customer base. It was praised for offering reliable and affordable service that many customers felt outperformed local auto mechanics. Motorists were forming long lines daily from as early as 3 a.m. The shop employed 10 Chinese mechanics. St. Catherine man gets life sentence on gun and ammunition charges. A St. Catherine man who pleaded guilty to possession of 3 illegal guns has been sentenced to life imprisonment. The defendant, Nicholas Hibbert, otherwise called Don Don and Blacks, will however have to serve 25 years behind bars before becoming eligible for parole. Hibbert was sentenced before the gun court after he pleaded guilty to 3 counts of possession of prohibited weapons, 1 count of unauthorized possession of ammunition, and 1 count of stockpiling prohibited weapons. Prosecutors led evidence that on March 6, 2024, about 11:30 a.m., police armed with a search warrant carried out a targeted operation at the home of Hibbert in Central Village, St. Catherine. On the arrival of the police team, Hibbert, who was standing at the gate of the premises, looked in the direction of the police and ran, attempting to lock himself inside his home. The police, who were disembarking the vehicle, shouted, "Police, don't move!" One of the officers prevented the accused from bolting the grill by placing his hand over the section where the bolt was located. The accused then ran inside the house and the police pursued and caught up with him at the back of the dwelling. A search of the dwelling was conducted and the 2 illegal guns and the several rounds of ammunition seized. Hibbert then took the cops to another location where another gun was seized. He pleaded guilty on June 9 and was sentenced on Friday to 21 years and 9 months imprisonment on 3 counts of possession of prohibited weapons. He used to serve 15 years before being eligible for parole. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for 2 counts of unauthorized possession of ammunition. On those counts, he used to serve 20 years before being eligible for parole. Hibbert was also sentenced to life imprisonment for the offense of stockpiling prohibited weapons. For that offense, he used to serve 25 years before being eligible for parole. The sentences are to run concurrently. Clarendon Councelor critical of police probe into Derica Rogers' disappearance and murder. Counselor Carlton Bailey, who represents the Milk River Division in Clarendon Southwest, is raising concerns over the police's handling of the investigation into the disappearance and subsequent death of 19-year-old Derica Rogers. Rogers, a sales representative from Gravy Hill in the parish, was reported missing on May 27. Her remains were discovered on June 1 in a switch between Milk River. According to police reports, about 8 a.m., relatives found Rogers' body in the switch pit located in a yard in the community and summoned the police. The lawmen sought the assistance of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and on their arrival, the body, which was in a state of decomposition, was removed from the pit. Following the grim discovery, the house on the property where Rogers' remains were found was firebombed, further deepening tensions in the community. Bailey said he was dissatisfied with the initial police response. "I don't think the police moved with alacrity in regard to the incident. Based on what I hear, the police had received certain information in regard to a certain individual, and they were told where that individual was that night. They made no move, only to find out that that individual left the island the following morning," said Bailey. Derek Rogers, the father of the deceased, made similar allegations during an interview with journalists on the day his daughter's remains were found. He claimed he had received word that his daughter was seen in the company of a man and believed the individual may have had information about her whereabouts. Bailey added, "I strongly believe that if they had responded, you would not need to be looking overseas to get back that person." Responding to Bailey, Assistant Superintendent of Police Adrian Fleming said he could not comment on the specifics of the investigation, but noted that the probe was progressing and a suspect was already in custody. Fleming said the police were following strong leads and that the investigation was at an advanced stage. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.